Guys, I don't really know where to begin with this video. We've got a judge today that has dismissed all of the rioting charges against 140 illegal immigrants that bum rushed our border, assaulted our National Guard members, and bum rush their way into our country so that they can steal our resources, steal from our economy, send our resources back to their families overseas, and just steal the resources from the people that live here and built this nation and are still trying to build this nation. Then, of course, you've got the fact that our Senate has just approved a $95 billion aid package for Ukraine, Taiwan, and Israel. Yes, more money for everyone except for the American people. More money for everyone else. More resources for everyone else. And I guess my only question that I can ask is, are you tired of being sold out yet? Are you tired of this yet? Lord knows I am. I mean, my goodness, it's to the point where I don't make hardly any money from YouTube, okay? Or from any of my other social media channels, okay? This is something that I do because I think that it's important to talk about these things and to have these conversations, okay? But ultimately, I have to work a blue collar job in order to pay my bills, in order to provide for my family. Guys, I have to work 60 hours a week now in order to adequately pay my bills, in order to adequately save for the future, in order to make sure that my children are going to be taken care of in the future. I have to work 60 hours a week now. This is not something that I used to have to do under a certain, what was his name? Oh, Donald Trump. Yeah. We didn't have to used to do this. But this is the reality of the government that ultimately the Democrats chose. The people that voted for Joe Biden, congratulations. You screwed all of us. But let's get into the news. We got this story from the Post-Millennial. Judge dismisses riot charges against 140 illegal immigrants accused of rushing border in El Paso. On Monday, a judge in El Paso, Texas, dismissed the cases of 140 illegal immigrants charged in connection with a border that took place. I believe that they meant to say that there was in connection with a riot that took place when the illegal immigrants stormed Border Patrol agents at the U.S.-Mexico border earlier this month. All 140 still face federal charges stemming from their illegal entry into the country. Let's be honest, that's not gonna stick. They're just gonna release these people into the country. I'm sorry. We have seen what the federal government is doing with illegal immigrants, literally flying them from all over the world into our major urban centers. Okay, so it's not going to stick. Though most illegal immigrants are given a court date some years into the future and released into the domestic U.S., the Biden administration often offers free flights for these individuals to cities and states across the country, as I just explained. According to the El Paso Times, County Court Judge Ruben Morales ruled that the Texas Department of Public Safety as well as state troopers had failed to adequately prove that there was probable cause to charge those involved in the April 12th incident. Oh, I don't know. What about the video? You know, the video of them bum rushing the agents, literally trampling our National Guard troops as they bum rushed the southern border, and many of them were armed with blades and knives. Oh, that's just, that can't be classified as a riot. Come on. That's not a riot. They were just softly protesting. They were protesting. Yeah. They were protesting that the National Guard troops were making them feel bad. I don't know, guys. At this point, it's like, what other way do you classify a riot? Oh, I don't know. Let's continue. After reviewing the affidavit, I don't believe that probable cause exists, he argued. I don't believe there is probable cause for these individuals to continue to be detained for the offense of riot participation. El Paso County Public Defender Kelly Childress, I think that's her name, pointed out that the affidavit did not mention anyone actually seeing the defendants take part in the riot. There's literally a whole video that went viral of these people doing exactly that. But, okay. Well, El Paso Assistant District Attorney Jennifer Vandenbosch, what is with these names? Goodness. Argued that by waiting for someone to cut the concertina wire, they knew exactly what they were doing. Following the hearing, Childress explained that it was just one step in the process and that the district's attorney's office could still indict the illegal immigrants on riot charges at a later date. Can the DA go back and indict them now? She said, sure, but I would hope they would have the integrity to explain to a grand jury what probable cause means and the fact that the judge found there was none. The group will soon be transferred from state custody to federal custody to have their illegal entry charges dealt with. Let's be honest, they're just going to get released. Two other illegal immigrants charged alongside the larger group failed to have their cases dismissed on the grounds that one was already in federal custody and the other was charged with criminal mischief instead of participating in a riot. So there you have it, folks. There you have it. You don't get any rights. You commit a crime, right to jail. Right to jail. I mean, you could get a speeding ticket at this point, right to jail. You're a Trump supporter. You're a Republican. You're on the right. You actually support this country and you want this country to be great. You believe in, nationalism and you want your country to be strong because you love your country. All of those things. You believe in those things, right to jail. If you're a far left Antifa freak who burns down entire city blocks, well, we can't ask you to be punished. In fact, you know what? I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Here's a buyout. Here's a settlement for the lawsuit or what. Literally, I believe this was in Seattle, where the city of Seattle literally paid the rioters out who burned down buildings in their city. I believe this was back during 2020 during the BLM riots. Paid off the rioters. Excuse me, my goodness. Yeah, paid off the rioters. This is the reality that you live in today. You are being sold out. You don't get any rights. You want to know who gets rights? Criminals. Both domestic and foreign. They get rights. You don't. Let's continue talking about the criminals. From the New York Post, Senate passes $95 billion aid package for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan as Biden promises to sign bill as soon as it reaches my desk. Let's continue. The Senate on Tuesday overwhelmingly passed a $95.3 billion aid package that we don't have, by the way, for the war-torn nations of Ukraine and Israel, as well as the defense of Taiwan, sending the measure to President Biden's desk for a signature. The upper chamber voted 79-18 for the foreign aid, which had passed the House on a bipartisan basis Saturday over GOP objections to the $60.8 billion in Ukraine and some Democratic objections to the $17 billion for Israel. Biden, 81, said in a statement that he will sign it as soon as it reaches my desk tomorrow so we can begin sending weapons and equipment to Ukraine this week. It's funny. It's really funny that the reason why this bill was even going forward in the first place was because of the attack from Iran that happened on Israel. But then, of course, the bill gets passed by the Senate, and this is what the president has to say, is that this is really about Ukraine. This is really about Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States does not have this money. Look at our debt. $34 trillion in debt. We don't have this money. This is your money that is being stolen from you and is being given to everyone else. and is benefiting everyone else in the world but you. Gen Z, let me ask you something. Do you enjoy the fact that you'll never be able to own a house? Do you enjoy the fact that you are going to be forced to pay $2,500 a month to live in basically a shoebox? No bathroom. You got to share a bathroom. But shoebox, that's all you get. You can't, you barely afford groceries, can't afford insurance, can't afford a car, can't afford to put gas in that car. Do you enjoy being forced by your government to live in poverty? Do you enjoy that? If the answer is no, as I'm sure it should be, maybe you should consider voting for Donald Trump. Okay? I'm sorry. You might not like some of the things the guy says. Hey, I hear you. I'm right there with you. There's some things that Donald Trump says that I'm like, dude, really? Come on. But what would you rather have? Some mean tweets and the American dream? Or senile old fool and you can't afford anything? World War III is around the corner. You're probably going to get drafted and sent off to a battlefield to get blown up by a nuclear weapon. One of these is not like the other, my guy. Like, one of these options is clearly better. I don't know what the thinking is here, man. One of the options is clearly much better than the other, and of course it's Donald Trump. But I digress. Let's continue. The need is urgent for Ukraine, facing unrelenting bombardment from Russia. For Israel, which just faced unprecedented attacks from Iran, for refugees and those impacted by conflicts and natural disasters around the world, including in Gaza, Sudan, and Haiti. And for our partners seeking security and stability in the Indo-Pacific, he added, thanking Senate leaders for their support. This critical legislation will make our nation and world more secure as we support our friends who are defending themselves against terrorists like Hamas and tyrants like Putin. Oh, it's going to make our nation more secure, will it? It's going to make our nation more secure as we just watched 140 illegal immigrants bum rush our border, trample our National Guard troops with weapons, and just freely get taken into the country. And the crimes that they committed against our troops dropped by a judge. Ladies and gentlemen, your nation is not secure, and your government hates you. Not only do they hate you, but they will steal money from you every single week from your paycheck and give it to everyone else in the world. And then they will bring in millions of people from other countries to replace you. Might I remind you that Tyson Foods outright said that they will be hiring illegal immigrants, which is a crime, by the way. It's illegal to do that. They outright came out and said that they will be firing American citizens and will be filling those positions with illegal immigrants. You are being replaced, ladies and gentlemen. Your money is stolen from you, given to everyone else. Your opportunities are stolen from you and are given to everyone else. Your jobs are stolen from you and are given to everyone else. When are you going to realize you are being sold out? Your government has betrayed you. It's a fact. Yet there are people that still continue to support Joe Biden and to support the establishment regime that has put all of this in place, that is ruining your life. As for me and my house, I will be supporting a candidate in the coming election that actually wants my nation to have a future. You want to know why? Because as a father, I want my child to have a future. I'm a young guy. I'm only 26 years old. I would be considered right there at the very beginning of Gen Z, very end of the millennial generation. I mean, I'm right there on that line. 26 years old. I definitely, I definitely think that I am more like Gen Z than I am the millennials, seeing as how I grew up mostly with Gen Z kids. Playing in the neighborhood with Gen Z kids, hanging out with Gen Z kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my group. So I definitely relate more to Gen Z if I'm not actually a part of that Gen Z, or if I'm not actually a part of Gen Z, I definitely relate more to them. But this is the reality, ladies and gentlemen. I want to have a future. I want my kid to have a future. And it's being stolen. If you want to have a future, if you want your children to have a future, if you want your nation at all to have a future, then there's only one option, ladies and gentlemen. There's only one option. You got to vote Donald Trump. Now, I'll say this. Do I think Donald Trump is going to fix all of our problems? Absolutely not. He's one freaking dude. He's one guy. He's not going to fix all of our problems. Okay? It's just a fact. But ultimately, it could be a heck of a lot better than it is right now. I mean, my goodness, how many times has World War III trended on Twitter since Joe Biden has been in office? I mean, the Middle East exploded. Eastern Europe exploded. The Taiwan Strait, the tensions between China and Taiwan have only gotten worse. None of this was happening under Donald Trump. None of it. We didn't have these tensions. We didn't have this stress. I don't know, man. Which way, modern America? Which way? Which is it going to be? What are you going to choose? I don't know. I'm going to leave it there. I'll have another video coming for you guys on Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment down in the comment section, and share the show with your friends. Follow me on all the socials down in the description, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we put out new videos. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.